Good evening, and welcome to EthioAlert News. With the latest on Ethiopia's unfolding political landscape. Headline 1. Tonight's top story: a former regional president has issued grave warnings about the future of Ethiopia and the role of armed movements within the country. Getachew Reda, ex-president of the Tigray interim administration, has broken his silence in a two-part televised interview that is stirring political debate and concern across the nation. In the latest segment released just hours ago, Getachew accuses elements within the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, of preparing to topple the federal government. He alleges that senior TPLF and EPLF leaders are laying the groundwork for a renewed armed conflict, this time, with the goal of reaching the capital, Addis Ababa. Getachew did not hold back in his criticism of former allies, accusing some top Tigray military and political figures of serious misconduct, including gold smuggling, human trafficking, and embezzlement of public funds. He singled out individuals such as General Mebrahatu and Colonel Tadel, warning that many of those he named could soon face travel restrictions and asset freezes. Moving beyond internal politics, Getachew made strong statements about Eritrea's role in regional instability. He accused the Eritrean government of manipulating Tigrayan fighters to further its own interests, predicting that Eritrea would not support any serious attempt by the TPLF to regain control of contested areas like western Tigray. He warned that Eritrea is not an ally, but a power bent on perpetuating conflict within Ethiopian borders. According to Getachew, Eritrea's ultimate goal is to trigger infighting between ENDF and Tigrayan forces, weakening Ethiopia from within. Getachew also addressed the humanitarian crisis in Tigray and Eritrea, revealing that a significant portion of the population, especially youth, are fleeing to Yemen and Saudi Arabia due to deteriorating conditions. He estimated that Eritrea's population figures are also being overstated, claiming nearly half the country has fled in recent years. Despite his criticisms, Getachew acknowledged the need for political reform across Ethiopia. He emphasized that force is not the solution, advocating instead for dialogue and peaceful political struggle. He announced plans to establish a new political party and continue his activism, though he admitted he may not be allowed to operate within Tigray itself. In a pivotal moment, Getachew said that the Tigrayan people are at a crossroads: they must either reject the path of war or risk plunging the region back into violent conflict. He believes that an alliance between the TPLF and Eritrea would almost certainly spark another war, yet even without such an alliance, the risk remains. Getachew interview adds to growing alarm voiced by other political actors, including opposition party Salsa in Tigray, which recently issued its own statement on the worsening security and humanitarian situation in the region. As tensions rise, the question remains: will the federal government and regional powers choose a path of negotiation and inclusion, or will Ethiopia once again face the specter of war? Headline 2. Today, a wave of tension is gripping the nation as healthcare professionals across Ethiopia prepare to launch a nationwide strike. The Ethiopian government, led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, is under increasing pressure, with emergency meetings being called behind closed doors, raising speculation that the administration is bracing for unrest. The core of the crisis lies with the country's health professionals, who issued a one-week ultimatum demanding urgent salary adjustments. Many public hospital workers are paid less than $100 per month, wages that many argue are not only unfair, but unsustainable for professionals with such critical responsibilities. Instead of responding with reform, the government has taken a hardline approach. The president of the Ethiopian Health Professionals Association was detained 2 days ago. Several other organizing members were also reportedly arrested yesterday. Images have emerged showing medical personnel in white coats being taken away in police vehicles, their destination unknown. In the face of growing discontent, Ethiopia's health minister attempted to mediate before last night. However, no tangible resolution was reached. Yesterday, May 13, marks the deadline set by the health workers, and the consequences are unfolding rapidly. Health services have already been partially suspended in regions including Amhara, Oromia, and the South. Emergency units, delivery rooms, intensive care units, and neonatal departments remain operational, for now, out of humanitarian concern. But outpatient services are being withdrawn. Many doctors did not report to duty today. Starting today, a full nationwide strike could be implemented, potentially paralyzing Ethiopia's already strained healthcare system. The government previously threatened to bring in foreign doctors from countries such as Cuba and Pakistan as replacements. But with local salaries below international standards, many see that as an empty threat. Meanwhile, political figures including Jawar Mohammed, Tay Dandia, Tadios Tontu, etc. have voiced support for the health workers, urging them to stand firm. Critics accuse them of using the protests for political leverage. Tadios, for instance, publicly criticized the government's recent decision allowing foreign ownership of property, highlighting what he called double standards. The situation is further escalating as the Ethiopian Teachers Association has called an emergency meeting in Addis Ababa for today. Attendance is mandatory, with mobile phones reportedly banned. Observers say this move is likely intended to prevent teachers from joining the health workers' strike. If educators and healthcare professionals unite in protest, it could mark the beginning of a broader civil movement. While experts say the current unrest may not yet pose a systemic threat to the government, widespread support across professions could change that equation quickly. Political analysts point to recent examples abroad, such as Kenya, where protests over taxation forced major cabinet changes. The fear in Addis Ababa appears to be that a seemingly isolated labor dispute could evolve into a powerful anti-government movement. The coming 48 hours will be pivotal. Will the government concede to the demands of its doctors, or will it double down on repression? Will other sectors join the health workers, igniting wider protests? Stay with EthioAlert TV as we continue to monitor this developing story.